Imagine you driving down a country road when suddenly you realize you've just entered the set of a Wes Anderson film. The buildings are perfectly symmetrical. The pastel colors are so saturated they almost hurt your eyes. And every single person you pass on the street is wearing a name tag with their name and occupation printed on it. You might be thinking, this is the plot of an upcoming movie. But this was actually the reality for one reporter who recently stumbled upon the town of Dry Hollow, Texas. But why does this town look like it belongs in a movie? Because it kind of does. This town was actually intentionally designed to be the picture-perfect community. It was founded in 1985 by a man named Eldon Rood, who wanted to build the safest, most wholesome community in America. He even hired an urban planner to design a town that would be a pleasure to live in, featuring wide streets, bike paths, and parks. To say the town was a success would be an understatement. Crime rates plummeted, and residents boasted some of the highest levels of happiness in the country. However, there was a problem. Despite its perfect design, no one could find the town because it didn't exist. Wait, what? You see, Dry Hollow wasn't just a town on the outskirts of Houston. It was a secret town. Residents were instructed to keep its location hidden from outsiders to preserve the peace and quiet. It was so well hidden, in fact, that it didn't even show up on any official maps, that is, until recently. In early 2022, someone leaked the location of Dry Hollow to the internet, where it quickly went viral. Overnight, journalists, bloggers, and curious onlookers were trying to pay the town a visit. But when they got there, they found something strange. Dry Hollow wasn't on any of their maps. Confused, yet intrigued, they pressed on. And that's when they met Bruce Weaver, a Dry Hollow resident who was willing to share his thoughts on the matter. "We were told, don't talk to strangers," he explained. "Don't tell them anything. Don't say anything at all if you can avoid it. We were told to forget about the outside world. We had a sign out here on the highway that says welcome to Dry Hollow." They tore that down, but these reporters weren't the first outsiders to stumble upon Dry Hollow. In the late 90s, the FBI actually tried to serve a warrant in the town. It was for a man named Gary Thomas, who was wanted for credit card fraud. The FBI tracked him all the way to Dry Hollow, only to find out that no one there had ever heard of him. It turns out that Mr. Thomas had somehow convinced the entire town that he was actually their local veterinarian. And since everyone loved their vet, they didn't think twice about helping him evade the authorities. Eventually, Mr. Thomas would be caught and sentenced to prison, but not before giving the FBI a serious case of the heebie-jeebies. Today, the town remains relatively hidden, although locals will admit that it's getting harder and harder to keep outsiders away. In fact, some have embraced their town's newfound fame, selling merchandise with the Dry Hollow name. Others, however, are less enthusiastic. "It's gotten more dangerous now that people know about us," one resident told the reporter. "I don't want to sound mean, but I'd rather not say anything to strangers. I'd rather just be left alone." Although we may never know the full story behind Dry Hollow, it's clear that this town is more than just a quirky piece of Americana. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest mysteries are hiding in plain sight. So do you know of any other mysterious places like Dry Hollow? If so, be sure to share your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more content. Thanks for watching.